maybe explain a bit the process that goes into raising such a big amount? And that was, I think, during COVID times. So that must have been tough. I guess to raise that amount during COVID times, you probably had the numbers to back up what you wanted to prove, right? I mean, that is what I think, but please explain, elaborate for us, because that's a cool thing to know as well.
Yeah, for sure. So COVID was I mean, difficult for everyone. On a long term, it's really going to help shared mobility, as people are now more open to use shared mobility, seeing it as a real difference to their own car. But of course, if everyone works at home, then there's also no need for mobility.
Exactly.
So it was a really difficult time, and I still know the decision that we made together with the shareholders, that we wanted to order a lot of mopeds. And we said, are we going to do it, or are we going to wait? And together we really said, we are convinced that this is going to work. So we ordered all the mopeds. And I think this really helped us now, because we scaled so rapidly, while most companies were like waiting, like afraid of what's going to happen. And we kept going and kept going. And it was quite difficult, of course, because the revenue was lacking and you were just going and going. So there was it wasn't easy. And when we started around, we said, our teams are not that big. And we don't have the biggest team as you're seeing with some other operators, because we want to keep it lean and mean. We don't want to have too much cost. So we just have a small team. So we said,
how many people do you have actually? I think it's in the hundreds, no?
Yeah, so in the HQ around 80 to 90. We have we have a lot of operations. So in total, we have around 300 people, but let's say 150 of them are like flexible operational workers that we all hire ourselves. So we don't do anything with external people. But it's still a small team if you look at the numbers that we're having on the streets. And when we did the financial round, I still know the discussion with Duke. We said, well, to be honest, we don't have time to do this round. So we made the deal. We're only going to do it in the evening. So we did the full deal and all the discussions during the evening. So there was a new experience. I wouldn't do it again, but it was at that time really good. So yeah, of course, first of all, you're making the plan, showing the insights and seeing if there's any interest from the market. And we were quite surprised how much interest there was from the market. But we didn't just want it to go for the highest offer or anything. We really wanted to have an investor that is working with us, making sure we had really an experienced team that could help us to the next level. So we made some points that we said, okay, our investor needs to help us with expansion, new countries, growing, making sure we have experienced people that can help us on that. So there were a lot of offers, but we were really looking for the one that could help us. And that's also the decision we made in the end with Opportunity Partners, which is not just investing, but we're there every week because they're really helping us to get to the next stage. And I think this is quite unique.
Yeah, and I think it's quite important as well, right? Because you need partners, right? Not just people who give you the money, but people who can partner with you for the future and help out whenever it's possible, because it's a long-term relationship in a way, right? That has the same interest for both parties, right? So, and how long does it take? What the whole process of raising the funds? How long does it take? Is it 3 months, 6 months? Because that's a big amount. So I don't know before it hits the bank account how long that takes. Because sometimes, as a mobility startup, cash can be, in high demand. So you need to be able to plan it beforehand, right? Because a lot of things can happen in the meantime. Unknowns. So what is how long does the process? What is the timing?
Yeah, mostly I think it will even take, with all the preparation, 6 to 9 months. It's really a hard work with a small team. So if the team is a lot bigger, I think you can do it faster. But we said from the beginning we want to do it quick, because every minute we spend on the round, we're not spending on our business, which is highly growing, has a lot of challenges. So we did it, I think, in the end, in 4 to 5 months, doing the preparation, the round, and I think it took another 1 to 2 months before everything was signed and continued. But it went quite fast.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty fast when I look at the things that I've read online. So you raised around 60 or 70 million a year ago, right? Or almost a year ago, I think, in April or something.
Yeah, 50 last April and a 10 million a year before.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Obviously, you use the money very well, looking at all these mopeds all over Belgium and other countries and the car sharing. Do you have any other plans of another funding raise in the near future? Because when I look at the other mobility startups, it seems as if they are raising every 4 months, actually, which is not the case for like go sharing, of course, because the business is more sustainable and it's different, I think, right? But do you have any planning of a new funding round in the near future?
Yeah, for sure. So the plans are always there. I'm glad that we don't have to do it every 6 months or 8 months like most companies. So we're really strict on the spending we're doing in making sure we don't need that much funding, because otherwise you're diluting and you want to still be at your business. So of course there's plans to get another fund round and making sure we can scale even faster, as also the market is getting more mature. Of course, this is needed. So plans for sure, but only to really focus on the business. So I think public affairs is more and more important. Software is really important. Operations is important. But I also like new projects. So, for example, we do a lot of test small, scale big. So charging solutions, operation solutions, software solutions. We really like to test with a really small budget, and if it works, we scale it all over.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah, that's a great thing. I actually have 2 questions regarding this. One question is might be a bit controversial. It's about Spac. I'm sure you heard about Spacs. I think
never heard of it. No.
I think some mobility companies in Europe are preparing to do a Spac in the future, or even in the near future. Is that something that Go Sharing sees in the future of doing like a Spac? And in the future, I mean, like in the near, like 2-3 years, for example, or that's not even on your thoughts, or is that like an aspiration that's you and your team have?
Yeah, so I've seen many companies doing it. I think the stock market is quite hard at the time because of all the uncertainties. So at least for the upcoming time, it won't make sense to do anything on the stock market. So we would rather do it ourselves, just with a new round. So I think in the near future it wouldn't be interesting to do.